Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 6.
A Fargo child care facility is being investigated and may have its license revoked.
Valley News Live learned that the North Dakota Department of Human Services gave notice to Little Bloomers Child Care and Preschool in the Osgood area.
Valley News Team's crime and safety reporter Bailey Hurley joins us live in the studio with this exclusive story. Bailey, what did you find out today?
Andrea, this is just part of the letter parents received from Little Bloomers Daycare in Osgood today, saying the Department of Human Services investigation all stems from a February 19th incident at the Child Care Center. Another letter from Little Bloomers given to Valley News Live shows the incident DHS is referring to is when two preschool children got out of the building through a back door at the daycare and then got into a vacant, unlocked car. It's unclear how long the children were gone until staffers noticed, but I asked our storm team meteorologist to look back at what the weather was like that day, only to find out the high was 6 degrees. Now, a lawyer for Little Bloomers says neither of the young kids received any medical attention in that incident, adding that the daycare took immediate action, terminating the staff responsible. Since we broke this story early this afternoon, several former parents and employees of Little Bloomers have reached out to us saying it's about time the daycare was investigated. Now, a Little Bloomers lawyer tells me this whole situation is very tough for the owners, adding that safety has always been Little Bloomers' #1 priority. Also saying they're working very closely with DHS to resolve this and hopefully keep their daycare license. Andrea?
All right, thank you, Bailey. The owners of Little Bloomers plan to meet with parents tomorrow evening to answer any questions they may have. And of course, stick with Valley News Live as we continue to investigate this story. A developing story for you out of South Fargo. Police just cleared the scene of a shooting in the 1400 block of 32nd Street South. Someone living in that apartment complex says they heard a total of 5 gunshots. Another person who lives there says this kind of thing happens all the time.
This is an area where we've had more crime than some other areas, but it's certainly not an area we've had a lot of gunshots, no.
Police said they found several shell casings and that luckily no one was hurt. Police still don't know who fired the gun.
A 7-year-old boy who was seriously injured in a 2-vehicle crash over the weekend on 13th Avenue South and University Drive in Fargo has died. A GoFundMe page indicates that Jason Devine has gone to be with Jesus. The page also says that Jason's organs will be donated. Jason's 5-year-old brother Brandon is said to be getting better every day. They were injured in a crash Saturday night. The boy's father, 31-year-old Christopher Devine of Fargo, is charged with driving under the influence. No word from Cass County authorities as to whether a more serious charge will now be filed.
Sunny skies only made today's temps feel even warmer, but tonight looks a little chilly. Hutch, what do we have in store?
Well, we have some changes making their way through. A quick look at the satellite shows some clouds pushing back into the region after we started the day very gray, very soupy. A cool front is pushing through as well, so the winds have picked up. Not a lot of precipitation from this cool front as it moves through, but I cannot rule out an isolated area of a sprinkle or even a flurry as temperatures approach the freezing mark around the midnight hour here in Fargo. Notice the wind speed should taper off as we get into the overnight hours as well. But for this evening, whether you're in Grand Forks or Fargo, temperatures will be declining fairly rapidly with that north breeze. So put the jacket on. I'll tell you how long the cold air sticks around, and we'll talk about our next warm-up here in a couple of moments.
Warm-up sounds good. Thanks, Hutch.
You bet.
One person is dead, another is in custody as authorities investigate a murder in Wahpeton. Authorities say they found a man suffering from stab wounds in an apartment complex on Center Street Monday night. That man later died at the scene. Police say the man who was arrested knew the victim and was not there when they arrived. He was arrested yesterday. Investigators say the victim's girlfriend was in the apartment at the time of the stabbing. Wahpeton's police chief tells us that this is the first homicide he's dealt with in the city during his 40 years as chief.
To know that there's people out there who are taking advantage of people, I want that to stop.
A Jamestown woman contacted our whistleblower hotline to say a local electronics repair shop is taking advantage of its customers and she wants it to stop.
Valley News Team's Veronica Marshall investigated and talked to the experts about what you need to do before handing over your pricey electronics to anyone for repair.
My daughter, she broke the screen on her iPhone 8 and she saved up some money to get it purchased, to get it fixed because I made her be responsible because she broke it.
Bentley says she checked Facebook reviews and then took the broken phone to electronic doctors, but not to their store.
They asked me to meet them at their home, or what I assumed was their home at Sunnyside Trailer Court. I didn't think anything of that because we did have that storm here recently and they had the awning of their business collapse.
20 minutes later, and after paying in cash, the company's preferred type of payment, Bentley says she took the phone home, only to discover a new problem. The phone wouldn't charge.
Their claiming is that because I brought it to them uncharged, that the damage must have been my fault. This only started once they tampered with the screen.
She says electronic doctors denied any role in the new problem, blaming her instead and offering to fix the new issue if she paid for the new repairs. That's when she shared her story online. And it's one that's familiar to Levi Closey, who says he took his fiance's laptop to electronic doctors for repair.
We took it in to have the keyboard replaced by them. They charged us, I think it was right around $300 to replace the keyboard. And when we got it back, it was having nothing but issues.
After speaking with former customers, I reached out to electronic doctors. In a statement, the company says it instructs all customers with complaints to give them a call to have their issues resolved at no cost. And just hours after I spoke with the business, Bentley says the owners reached out to her directly and offered to fix her phone for free. But my investigation finds this has not always been the company's policy. The business's official Facebook page previously sent Bentley messages telling her she'd have to pay for the new repairs.
I've encouraged everybody, if you have an issue with them, go to the BBB, because once they have a volume of complaints, then it's big enough for them to investigate and take care of.
This company happens to have a C+ rating with us, and they've got a couple complaints posted against them. I can't say if I would recommend them or not. I think that's up to the individual that's wanting to get work done, and if they feel comfortable spending their money with a business that has a C+ rating.
To protect yourself, Ellenson says there are other red flags consumers can keep an eye out for.
They asked for cash only. They didn't want to take checks or cards, and we never got a receipt from them either.
If they ask them for any untraceable form of payment, that's a huge red flag. Other things, people can do is just make sure that the company has a legitimate phone number and that their address matches up with, where they say they are.
Without an electronic money trail or receipt, it may be too late for Bentley to get a refund, but she hopes her story will save others.
I feel bad for my daughter because she saved up the money and she trusted me to take it somewhere and have it fixed. And I made my mistake by going to them, but if we can stop them from, continuing to operate their business the way they do, I think that that's a win.
In Jamestown, Veronica Marshall, Valley News Live.
We checked with Jamestown's Chamber of Commerce to see if Electronic Doctors was a listed and licensed business, but the Chamber says it does not handle small business licenses. We reached out to the state's Business Licensing Division, have yet to hear back.
Later on